Your builder is never going to tell you this. There are 7 design choices, not upgrades, not fancy materials, just shapes and layouts that can knock tens of thousands of dollars off a farmhouse build. And most builders won't bring them up. Not because they're lying to you exactly, but because every one of these choices means less work, less material, and less profit for them. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to ask for before you ever sign a contract. And you're going to know why the custom look your builder is pushing you toward might be costing you 50 grand for nothing. Before we get into it, if you're planning a build, or even just dreaming about one, hit subscribe right now, because I'm about to show you real 2026 numbers, not guesses. And stick around, because design number 3 is the one that most people get completely backwards, and it could be the single biggest money mistake in your entire build. Let's get into it. Here's the thing about farmhouse style in 2026. It is, hands down, the most searched, most requested home style in America right now. Roughly a third of all custom house plans sold recently have been some flavor of modern farmhouse. The board and batten siding, the wraparound porch, the black windows, the metal roof accents. It's everywhere. Pinterest, Instagram, HGTV, all of it. And that popularity is exactly the problem. Because when a style is this trendy, builders know they don't have to sell you on the look. You already want it. What they sell you on instead is the price tag. And most people building a farmhouse in 2026 are paying somewhere between $150 and $450 per square foot, depending on where they live and how the home is designed. That's an enormous range. And the difference between the low end and the high end usually isn't the granite countertops. It's the shape of the house. So let's break down the 7 design decisions that separate a farmhouse that costs $300,000 from one that costs $500,000, and why your builder would rather you never find out about them. Design 1, the simple rectangle. Design number 1 is almost embarrassingly simple. Build a rectangle. Every modern farmhouse plan you see online has some version of an L shape, a wing coming off the side, a bump out for a breakfast nook, maybe a jog in the wall for the primary suite. It looks custom, it looks intentional, it looks expensive, and that's exactly the point, because it is. Here's why. A foundation that's a clean rectangle is dramatically cheaper to pour than one with corners, angles, and transitions. According to 2026 construction data, an L-shaped or U-shaped foundation can run 15 to 25% more than a rectangle of the exact same total square footage. That's before you've framed a single wall. And it doesn't stop at the foundation. Every corner you add to a floor plan adds framing labor, adds roof valleys, adds places where water can leak, adds waste when you're cutting siding and flooring around odd angles. Builders in 2026 are pretty blunt about this in their own trade publications. They'll straight up tell each other that a simple rectangular footprint is cheaper to frame, cheaper to roof, cheaper to insulate, and cheaper to finish than anything with bump outs or wings. That's not opinion. That's how material takeoffs work. So why doesn't your builder lead with, let's just do a rectangle? Because a rectangle doesn't sell. It's not exciting on a rendering. It's harder to justify a premium price for. An L-shaped custom farmhouse feels bespoke, feels tailored to you, and it lets the builder quote a higher number with a straight face. You can get almost the same visual charm with smart porch placement and roofline detailing on a rectangle for a fraction of the cost. But nobody's going to volunteer that information because the fancier shape is the one with margin built in. Design 2, the simple gable roof. Design number 2, and this one might be the single most underrated money saver in the entire list, is the roofline. Farmhouse style is famous for its steep, dramatic gables, multiple peaks, dormers, maybe a cross gable over the porch, cupolas, the whole picture-perfect silhouette. It's gorgeous. It's also one of the most expensive things you can put on a house. Let's talk real numbers from 2026. A basic, simple gable roof, 1 ridge, 2 slopes, no valleys, no dormers, needs about 10% extra material to account for waste and cuts. A complex roofline, with multiple angles, valleys, and features, needs 15 to 30% extra material. That gap alone can add thousands of dollars just in wasted shingles or metal panels. But material waste is the smaller half of the story. Labor is where complex roofs really punish your budget. Industry data from 2026 shows that a complex roof design can increase labor costs by 20% or more, compared to a simple design, because crews move slower, need more safety precautions on steep, cut-up surfaces, and simply spend more days on the roof. A straightforward 2-day installation on a simple gable can stretch to 4 or 5 days on a complicated, multi-valley roofline. Every one of those extra days is a day you're paying a crew. Zoom out to the framing stage, and it's the same pattern. Because more complex roof systems typically require more materials and more labor, they land toward the higher end of every cost range, while genuinely simple roof construction lands near the bottom. Here's the part that should make you a little annoyed. A steep, cut-up roof with multiple dormers doesn't just cost more once, it costs more forever. More valleys means more places for water to pool and leak over the life of the house. More complexity means more expensive repairs down the road. Builders love quoting complex rooflines because it's a bigger number on day 1, and they're not the ones paying for the leak repair in year 12. You can still get that classic farmhouse gable look, the steep pitch, the tall peak over the porch, without stacking 5 different roof planes on top of each other. One dominant gable, clean lines, minimal valleys. It photographs just as well. It costs a lot less to build and a lot less to maintain. Design 3. Go up, not out. Design number 3 is the one I told you about at the start, the one people get backwards constantly, building up instead of building out. Everybody pictures the sprawling 1-story farmhouse. Long hallway, primary suite on one end, wide open living space, porch running the entire length of the front. It's a beautiful image. It is also, square foot for square foot, one of the most expensive ways to build a house. Here's the math. A 2-story home needs only about half the foundation footprint of a single-story home with the exact same amount of living space. Since foundation work, excavation, concrete, footings, is one of the most expensive line items in a build, cutting that footprint in half is a massive saving. On top of that, you're only paying for one roof instead of a roof that has to cover double the ground area. Builders and estimators in 2026 put a real number on this. Going up instead of out typically saves 10 to 30% on the cost of that additional square footage, with some estimates putting the 2-story savings as high as 15 to 20% overall, compared to a single-story home of the same size. Think about what that means on a $500,000 build. That's potentially $75,000, just from stacking your square footage vertically instead of spreading it across the lot. So why do so many farmhouse buyers still go single-story? Partly personal preference. Some people really do want to avoid stairs, and that's a completely legitimate reason. But a lot of the time, it's because the single-story ranch farmhouse is what's on the show lot, what's in the brochure, what the builder has already got plans drawn up for. Pushing a buyer toward a design that's already sitting in a filing cabinet is easier and often more profitable than customizing a 2-story plan, even though the 2-story would save the buyer real money. If budget is your top priority and stairs aren't a deal breaker, a 2-story farmhouse with a smaller footprint should be the very first option your builder puts in front of you. If they're not bringing it up, ask why. Design 4. Skip the basement. Choose your foundation wisely. Design number 4 is all about what's happening underground, where nobody ever thinks to look, and where a shocking amount of your budget disappears. There are 3 main foundation types: slab, crawl space, and full basement. And the price difference between them is enormous. In 2026, a concrete slab foundation runs somewhere between $5 and $16 per square foot. A crawl space runs $8 to $20 per square foot. A full basement runs $35 to $50 per square foot before you've finished a single inch of it. Let that sink in for a 2,000 square foot home. A slab foundation might cost you somewhere around $10,000 to $28,000 total. A basement foundation for that same footprint can run $70,000 to $100,000 or more. That's not a small upgrade. That's potentially an entire kitchen renovation's worth of money, buried in dirt before the framing crew even shows up. Now, basements aren't automatically the wrong choice. They add genuine usable square footage, and in some climates, your frost line basically requires you to dig deep anyway, so a basement can make practical sense. But if you're building in a warmer climate where a basement is optional, and cost is your priority, A slab foundation is overwhelmingly the cheaper starting point, and in most parts of the country, it's already the most common choice. Nearly 3 out of every 4 new homes built recently went with a slab. Here's why this one gets buried. Pun very much intended. A basement is a huge line item, and huge line items mean huge markup opportunities. It's easy to bundle basement costs into a vague lump sum number instead of breaking it out. If your foundation quote isn't itemized, excavation, concrete volume, reinforcement, all listed separately, that's a red flag. A vague lump sum is where hidden costs like to hide. Design 5. Standard window and door sizes. Design number 5 is smaller in scope but adds up fast. Stick to standard, off-the-shelf window and door sizes. Farmhouse style loves oversized windows, big black-framed picture windows, tall French doors leading onto the porch, wide sliding glass walls opening up the back. And visually, that's a huge part of what makes the style work. Natural light is basically a signature feature of the look. The trap is custom sizing. The moment a window or door doesn't match a manufacturer's standard dimensions, you're paying for a custom order, special framing, longer lead times, and a price that can be significantly higher than a stock size that's sitting in a warehouse ready to ship. A lot of farmhouse plans you see in magazines use unique, non-standard window groupings because it looks striking in a photograph. In real life, on your build, that same striking look can be recreated almost identically by combining multiple standard-sized windows side by side, instead of ordering one giant custom unit. Builders don't always flag this distinction for you, because let's just order the custom size, it'll look exactly like the magazine photo, is a much easier conversation than, let's redesign this to use stock sizes and save you a few $1,000s. One of those conversations takes longer and questions the plan. The other one just gets signed off. Design 6. Metal roofing, even though it costs more upfront. Now here's one that's going to sound like it contradicts everything I just said. Design number 6 is actually spending more money up front, on the roofing material itself. Basic asphalt shingles run roughly $4.50 to $9.50 per square foot installed in 2026. Metal roofing runs $6 to $18 per square foot. On paper, metal looks like the expensive choice, and a lot of buyers get talked out of it for exactly that reason. But here's what that comparison leaves out. Lifespan. Basic asphalt shingles typically last around 15 to 17 years. Metal roofing can last 50 years or more. So when you actually do the math over the life of the house, you are very likely replacing that asphalt roof 2, maybe 3 times before a metal roof would need its first replacement. Once you account for that, metal frequently comes out ahead in total lifetime cost, and metal roofing happens to be one of the defining visual signatures of the modern farmhouse look anyway, so you're not even sacrificing style to get there. This is the one item on this list where cutting cost doesn't mean spend less today. It means spend correctly once, instead of spending repeatedly. And it's exactly the kind of long-horizon thinking a builder focused on winning your contract this month has very little incentive to walk you through, because the roofing decision that saves you money over 20 years doesn't change their bottom line on this project at all. Design 7. An open floor plan that doesn't fight physics. Design number 7, and this is the one that trips up more farmhouse buyers than almost anything else, is open floor plans and dramatic ceiling heights. Modern farmhouse style is built around the open concept great room, kitchen flowing into dining, flowing into a living space with soaring cathedral ceilings and huge exposed beams. It's stunning. It's also structurally demanding. Every wall you remove to open up that floor plan has to have its load carried by something else, usually an engineered beam, sometimes steel, spanning across the opening. The taller and wider that open space gets, the bigger and more expensive that beam needs to be. A modest, well-proportioned open kitchen to living space is very achievable on a normal budget. A soaring 2-story great room with cathedral ceilings and massive exposed beams is a completely different structural and financial animal. Framing data from 2026 groups. This in with the other big cost multipliers. Every non-standard roofline, every cathedral ceiling, every angled wall costs more to frame, more to insulate, and more to finish, no exceptions. The fix here isn't give up on open concept. It's be intentional about how open. A single-story ceiling height with a smart, open layout gets you 90% of that airy farmhouse feeling for a fraction of the structural cost of a soaring double-height great room. Save the dramatic ceiling for one signature space, maybe just the entry or the living room, instead of stretching it across the entire footprint. Builders, understandably, love drawing the version with the huge dramatic beams, because that's the version that looks incredible in the rendering they show you before you've signed anything. It's also the version with the biggest markup buried in the structural engineering line item. Why builders don't volunteer this? So let's tie this together, because I promised you the why and not just the what. None of these 7 things are secrets. Exactly. All of this data is publicly available in construction cost guides, in trade publications, in industry reports. It's not hidden information. What's hidden is the conversation. A per square foot quote is genuinely one of the most misleading numbers in this entire industry, and even builders will tell you that themselves. It hides the foundation type, hides the roof complexity, hides the shape of the house, hides everything that actually drives your final bill. 2 farmhouses of the exact same square footage, in the exact same town, can differ by tens of thousands of dollars, purely based on the 7 choices we just walked through. And a builder quoting you the flashier, more complex version isn't necessarily doing anything dishonest. They're just not going out of their way to show you the cheaper path, because the cheaper path is, quite literally, less profitable for them. The single best thing you can do before you ever sign a contract is ask for an itemized line-by-line bid, foundation type broken out separately, roof complexity broken out separately, framing broken out separately, and then ask specifically, what would this cost as a simple rectangle, single dominant gable roof, and standard window sizes? Watch how the number moves. That question alone can save you real money, and it's a question almost nobody asks. So to recap, rectangle over L shape, simple gable over complex roofline, 2 stories over 1, slab over basement where it's practical, standard windows over custom, metal roofing for the long game, and an open floor plan that respects the ceiling height. 7 decisions. 0 of them require you to give up the farmhouse look you fell in love with. All 7 of them can quietly save you tens of thousands of dollars before a single hammer swings. If this actually helped you, do me a favor and hit that like button. It tells YouTube to show this to the next person who's about to overspend on their build without realizing it. Subscribe if you want more honest, numbers-based breakdowns like this one, because I've got a lot more of these coming. And drop a comment telling me which one of these 7 surprised you the most. I read every single one, and it genuinely shapes what I cover next. Thanks for watching all the way through. I'll see you in the next one.